my phone. I can't find that.
I can't find it, but I think I spelled it wrong. Whatever, I'll look later. Because the game's finally getting underway. But you know what? I don't know if anyone remembers this. The VMUs for the Dreamcast and Tamagotchis were my childhood. You get the little Chow babies from like Sonic Adventure. You have them race in the little memory cards. Those were awesome.
I remember like in Pokemon where you'd like link up to each other on Game Boy and have
my god. You're like, yo, do you have the little cord thing? Yeah, I got the cord thing. Let's trade some Pikachus. Evolve them into actually, no, Pikachu was Thunderstone. That's right. It was Machoke to change. Same with Kadabra. There we go. To Alakazam. Best Pokemon all time. But Pokemon aside, guys, let's get into this. This is a best of 9 between FXO.NA versus KillingSpree, and spawning here in the lower right corner of Akalon Flats, it is the player, the Blue Zerg, JimRising, playing for Team FXO.
Indeed. His opponent in the top left-hand corner, having just finished off Desro from his opponent team. Spawning as the Red Zerg from KillingSpree, it is Jig.
Yeah, it's really nice that he's able to take down Desro because it means more StarCraft for us, but Desro had a really good run, 3-0 at a point, now 3-1, has officially done half the work to get to this best of 9, I believe it's 5 wins, if I can do math in my head, Baldy.
Maybe.
Well, it's a CVC, let's see what happens. We talked about this earlier. I imagine this will start off with some Zerglings, maybe mixed in with a couple Bailings, and then the first real deviation will be... That's English for you guys. First real deviation will be once we get to that layer text stage and see who goes for what. Now, Akalon Flats, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they did a recent change that the Zelnaga towers in the middle of the map actually expire around the 8-minute mark, I believe?
It's 7 minutes, correct.
7 minutes, yeah. So that's pretty cool that they did that. As, quite frankly, it's kind of dumb that they have so many watchtowers that give away so much of the map.
Yeah, you literally can't, like, there's only like 2 pixels on either side of the farm map that you can run anything through that doesn't get spotted. But yeah, it's a cool change. It's the first time I've seen that kind of thing happen. I think that's pretty cool, showing that they can do that stuff. I think there's going to be a lot more flexibility and variation in maps and how to swarm, especially with, you know, the new rock mechanics and all that. I'm sure that they can make some crazy stuff going on.
Oh yeah, there's no rocks here. The destructible rocks are non-existent.
Yeah. Oh, we have?
Shoot, Dustin Browder's like crying. Like, I can't believe...
That's destructible rocks between this natural and the third.
Oh, no, was it collapsible is what I meant, sorry.
Yeah.
Dustin Browder's like crying. They took my rocks out, man. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't believe they did that. But okay, we got a little bit of Zerglings popping out across the field. This is nothing too irregular, though, and quite frankly, nothing that JimRising can't hold off with just drones, much less a queen.
Yeah. Well, the main difference is the fact we had the pull first from Jig and Rising went for the expand, so his pull is a little bit later, like he was suggesting, but not a huge deal. We see the speeds pretty much the same, and
but
they're
I
all
mean,
real
the difference of that opening is so irrelevant. I mean, if you go for pull first, you got the queen early to make up for the larva. If you go hatchery first, you get a larva out a little bit quicker, but you lose the queen time. So it's like, it's nitpicking. But okay, so JimRising boldly going with 2 Zerglings.
Yeah, the Zerglings did a total of 17 damage that whole time to that egg.
Well, son of a gun, Baldy. Eggs are pretty strong. Now, JimRising actually really needs to get something else here. Just anything. These 2 drones even. Ooh.
Yeah, the queen's about to pop, so with that, these lings should be relatively...
Queens actually do quite a bit of damage to Zerglings that don't have speed.
Nice throwing kill. Queen doesn't even care. He's like, whatever, man. I'm just gonna
impregnate this thing. Yeah.
I'm gonna spit rhymes on the hatchery there.
Yeah, you know, actually, just think about it. The queen impregnates the hatchery. Shouldn't the queen be a king? Just thinking about it.
Yeah, because the eggs are on the hatchery, which would imply it's there you go. Well, I mean, I don't think you can use logic on Zerg. It's not really one of those things that kind of happens. So.
Alright, and JimRising, if not careful, might lose this Overlord. The queen is gonna slowly chase it.
There's a lot of lings on the way for Jig.
But JimRising also has quite a few coming across the field, and a Baneling nest coming out. And right now, Jig, it doesn't matter how much Zerglings you win in the Zergling fight, if you don't have Banelings out, you can't contest your opponent.
Yeah.
But oh, some scrappy going on here. Jig getting the sort of short end of the stick as JimRising very aggressively pushing forward. Can he get the queen, Baldy? Getting the queen would be huge, but no, he's going to go for the drones instead. I don't like that. I really don't like that.
Yeah, he actually... Jig actually only lost 1 drone that entire time, so nicely played there.
Yeah, if he had just focused all of his Zerglings on the Queen, I think that would have been a much bigger victory for him there. But we got a Spy Crawler up at home. We've got Baneling Nests on the way, and Jig, you know, for all his production, doesn't have a whole lot of Zerglings on the field anymore. Both players keeping fairly even in the worker count as well.
It's interesting that JimRising attacked up the ramp for the Baneling Nest, maybe perhaps implying that he was never going to really be offensive with them. We do have a few more Lings coming through, but the Baneling Nest seems to be more of a defensive option right now. We've got Lair on the way for both players. Apparently, JimRising is pretty much 100% muted according to chat, so perhaps you know, either their teammates or have played with him before.
Well, if JimRising is going muted, he's going to need a lot more gas than what he currently has. I mean, he's getting the layer up. He's on 3 gas right now. You really want to get that 4th one to seal the deal. But we can see continued Baneling aggression. Actually, we got Jig. Jig has got a lot of gas, Baldy. I would really like to see Muta versus Muta because it's like the biggest scrap fest of all the Zerg matchups. Like, you can have 20 Banelings, 8 move against 20 Banelings, and it wouldn't be half as scrappy as Muta versus Muta, but it's going to be Infestation Pit and Roaches out of Mr. Jig here as he's got the +1 ranged weapons on the way, and JimRising going for a Spire. I like this. I like Mutalisks a lot for this matchup, but the problem is one good fungal growth can shut 20 Mutalisks down so easily. And oh no, JimRising going to lose his Queen, just barely. And that's the problem is when you kill a Queen like that.
Jig actually saw the Spire with that Ling, so Jig actually knows basically as soon as possible that he's got Spire on the way. I mean, even knowing Spire on the way doesn't necessarily mean that much, but he can start to kind of focus in. He's going to get that pathogen glands as soon as possible. All that fun stuff, and he'll know it's coming. So, good scout.
I don't know. Losing that Queen actually kind of a big deal because that's a long time. Actually, it's like a whole cycle that you're gonna miss that larva for. Now we have both players going for 3rd base behind this. I really think though Jig's gonna be in the better position. He's gonna have, like we said, infestors. You get a fungal growth here or there, catch these Mutalisks, but more importantly, upgrades on his side. And if JimRising if he's gonna stick to Ling Bane Muta, he's gonna start needing some tech.
Well, the Baneling's coming through. He's gotta be careful here.
Ooh, some nice micro out of Jig. Actually, some beautiful micro out of Jig, Bully. Look at him.
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well. Peeling off. Very nice.
He gets those Banelings and still has 1 circling remaining. So very nicely handled by our KillingSpree player. But we've got 10 Mutalisks coming, Baldy. And the first thing they're going to do is start picking off all these Overlords. Jig needs to pull these Overlords home. The second he scouted that Spire, he should have started pulling these Overlords home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Overlords are going to go down.
And that's like at this point in the game, having to rebuild 5, that's 500 minerals. That's a lot of minerals that would otherwise be used elsewhere. And, you know, we're not at that supreme late stage where, you know, you got like 3k bank where he's like, oh, whatever, 5 Overlords. He's starting to move him back now, so he might be able to save. Actually, he's not even moving the front 2. I don't even know.
I think so. The Mutalist reveal, we do have 4 Spore Crawlers coming down immediately. And Spore Crawlers are very nice at deterring Mutalisks. I don't think they've got. They didn't get that biological upgrade in this, right? That was just part of the swarm. Yeah. So only 15 damage.
I'm wondering if even though Jig technically scoured the
Spire, Baldy Jig's about to get supply blocks. Oh, never mind. The other 3 Overlords pop just in time.
I mean, he's building the Spore Crawlers now, I guess realizing that they're on the field, he doesn't need to invest on them earlier, but he did scout the Spire, but equally, it might have not been a conclusive scout because he would have just seen the morph. But I think you can conclusively tell it's a Spire because it's a relatively small building that's been built.
Well, we're going to hold that thought for a second, Baldy. Queen in the main going to go down to these Mutos almost immediately. And if he can focus down the Extractor, it's going to cut his gas production down of his opponent, which he desperately needs if he's going to keep Infestors as his tech choice.
Yeah, we do have quite a few Infestors out on the way, and there's a nice fungal on all of but 2 of the Mutas.
JimRising might just lose all these. He's going to definitely, if 2 more Fungals actually come out, he will lose his Mutalisks.
That's a really huge get. Boom! They all go down, and with that, the relative effectiveness of Mutas are down. Like, he only has a handful of them now. He's only got 2 now. Normally in this kind of matchup, unless you're seeing Muta versus Muta, you only make like 6 to 10 of them anyway. But with that now, Jig knows that he doesn't have to worry about Mutas.
Oh, but Baldy, despite the fact having gone Mutalist first, sure he doesn't have Infestors, but look at the Roach count, 28 to 14, double his opponent's Roaches, and continuing to produce. I mean, you can get Infestors all day, but fungal growths alone, Infesting Terrans alone, will not hold off this many Roaches.
Yeah. See Jig now getting a Hydra Den, so he's going to go into that Roach
I
Hydra.
like that. Hydras are really good DPS. You have to balance the numbers, though. So many players. Oh, look at that pre-spread from JimRising. I really like that, trying to minimize the fungal damage, but he's still getting caught here very badly, actually. He's got the numbers, though, Baldy. He's got the numbers to take this.
Yeah, it's a good point, actually. The reinforcements coming through, but there's not a whole lot of them. The Fungal's doing a really nice job. Might have to retreat here, Jim, for the moment here until more and more reinforcements come in. But with these extra reinforcements, he's in a pretty good spot. We look at the upgrades. It's 0-1 versus 1-1. Jim has the upgrade lead as well.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the infestors are pretty much out of energy now. This is looking pretty grim for Jig. Oh, actually,
take down a few drones here. That would be a nice little victory for him. We do have quite a few roaches now coming across. The defender's advantage is going to come into play here. The roaches from Jig are going to be able to defend before Jims are able to move across the map.
Oh, and more importantly, actually, Jig has Burrow. He can heal his roaches up. JimRising cannot. With some Burrow Micro right now, actually, Jig would be losing far less units. That Burrow the regen well burrowed is pretty insane on roaches. But it looks like he's just going to keep fighting with him. Scrappy is the Scrappy does.
Yeah, I think he's fine just based on the defender's advantage side of things. The Hydras are going to come into play soon. 12 more roaches as well. His level 2 is going to kick in earlier. And although infestors are relatively low on energy, they still are available.
Oh man, Jig has Baldy.
Have.
Very more importantly, Jig has almost 20 workers over his opponent at this point. He is just his economy is looking so much better than JimRising.
Nice little queen snipe there from Jim. Trying to do as much damage as he can. These roaches will be stopped up quickly. And then, there we go. Well played. And actually, Jig now starting to do a bit of a resurgence, if you want to say that. Getting 2 kills.
Yeah.
Things up closer. Still 3-2 in the favor of FXO, but we have a lot closer.